Hey there guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we are looking at a bit of a meme list in the Dread mob. It is definitely not tournament play because we have Legends models in here, but it's very fun, a weird kind of stat check army in a way, I guess. So if you haven't seen Dread mob before, each time a mech, orc walker, or grot vehicle, and you can use a mech little trick later on to get the advantage, shoots or fights, you roll a dice, and depending on the outcome, you either get sustained hits, lethal hits, or you get on the critical wound, you get improved AP by 2. Or you can pick what you need, but you have to add a hazardous roll to your weapons that you've used in that case. And if you already have hazardous, you add another hazardous. And in addition, Gretchin become battle line in this detachment. Not really relevant for what we do, but we are spamming grot tanks from Legends and killer cans from normal Codex. They are quite a good little stat line. They've got okay shooting for orcs. That's the idea. We're an orc shooting army. Bit of a troll build. I do not encourage you building it by any means because, you know, Warhammer is expensive. But you might know a 3D printer. You might know someone who can make models another way. Just saying. So for grot tanks, we run a max size of 3 units of 8 apiece. They come in at 930 points, 310 per unit at max size. We run 3 units of maxed out killer cans. These come at 250 apiece, I believe. And we run 3 groups of Gretchin at max size. Each is 20 Gretchin with 2 runt herders at 80 apiece. And we run Zodgrod as our epic hero and our only character in the army list. We are pretty good. We do not bleed assassination points because we've only got 1 hero, but we bleed vehicle points really bad. So if they bring it down, yeah, they're probably going to max out. So why do I want to max out all the grot little things, little dudes, you know? Grot tanks are a pretty impressive stat line for being a Legends model. They've got a fast 10-inch move, they're T6 with a 3-up save in the open, you have a fat 5 wounds per model, leadership's 8, it's a grot, it's what you expect, an okay leadership, OC at 2, which is okay. They come in at 155 points for 4, or 8 for 310, so you can run 3 max squads at 8 apiece, so that's 24 grot tanks in an army. They all come equipped with a big shooter, which you can change out for whatever you need. I feel like it's a rocket launcher or the custom Mega Blaster. Very similar stat lines, both are 24-inch. The Mega Blaster offers 2 shots, hitting on 4, strength 9, AP 2, damage is 6. But it has hazardous, where the Rokkit is blast, 24-inch range, D3 for number of shots, hitting on the 4 as well, strength 9, AP 2, damage is flat 3. I like the Rockets more consistent. With blast you get additional hits. Average you're going to get 2 shots anyway because D3 divided by half, you're probably going to get 2 shots. So in addition, every 4th grot tank can take an additional weapon, so you can double up on a weapon profile. So a squad of 8 of them has 10 weapons loaded in there, so you can run 10 rocket launchers for 1 big squad of grot tanks. They also have scatter, which whenever an enemy unit ends a normal, advance, or fallback move within 9 inches, and you're not within engagement range, you can make a normal move of up to 6 inches. So these guys are very hard to tag into combat. So your opponent moves them, they go, oh shit, time to run, and they scurry away. The killer can's a very similar stat line, a bit slower at 6 inch, T6 as well, 3-up save again in the open, but you have a 6-up invul now. You still have 5 wounds, leadership 8, and OC 2. So you're losing a bit of movement to gain that invul that would be irrelevant after the war, and you've got a melee profile, which is actually a pretty good melee profile. Same story here as well. Every killer can is equipped with a shooter, which you can change out for a Grotzuka, a rocket launcher, or a Scorcher. And I really feel like, again, the rocket launchers let it go. Exact same stat line, 24-inch range with blast, D3 for number of shots, hitting on 4, strength 9, AP 2, flat 3 damage. In addition, whenever they shoot, you get to roll a D6, and depending on the outcome, you're either going to cop mortal wounds in yourself, you're going to add 1 to the strength value of your ranged weapon, so rockets go to 10, which is relevant. It does wound other orcs on 2s, wounds other medium vehicles on a 4 hopefully, or on a 5 to 6 you're going to add 1 to number of shots. Really good. They are cheap, well they're not cheaper, but they're good value at 6 models for 250 points. Then the Gretchin. They are chaff mobs and a half. You get 22 models for 80 points. They are T2 until they're all gone, and then it's the run herders left. 7-up save, so 6 in cover if you're lucky with no AP. 1 win models, leadership's a joke, OC 2 is pretty good actually. We run them to clog up the enemy's board, tag them with melee, and generate us command points by being on objectives. You can only gain 1 command point per turn, but if you have multiple Gretchin and multiple points, you're pretty much guaranteeing to get that command point because it's a half the time. If they're on an objective, roll a d6, on a 4+, and you're not battle shocked of course, you get a CP. So multiple groups of Gretchin got a better chance of getting it. And then we run Zodgrod as our little epic hero that leads a group of Gretchin. Got an okay pistol with the anti-monster, it might come up. Pretty good melee actually as well, 5 attack hitting on 2 with a weird melee profile, strength 7, AP 2, damage 2, does alright. But when he's leading a group of Gretchin, they gain Scout 9, he adds 1 to the hit and 1 to the wound roll, and it makes it hard for your opponent to wound you. So take a group of Gretchin with him turn 1, or pre-game move Scout 9, run them up the board, and if it's War, you can add 6 inch to your movement speed with him as well to the unit. So you can make a turn 1 or an early War group of Gretchin really quick and try and cap that middle objective in addition. And the really good thing about this like troll detachment kind of meme build, the stratagems are pretty good and like quite effective for how much they cost. So Daka lets you reroll hit values of 1, and if you've chosen to push it, so pick what outcome you need from your detachment rule, you can just reroll all your hits, but you do get hazardous, so it does double stack. Bigger shells for bigger gits, it adds 1 to your wound roll, and if you choose to push it, you add 1 to your damage value as well, but only against monsters and vehicles, and you get another hazard, so you might get multiple forms. Superfueled Boiler gives your Orc Walkers reroll advanced rolls and all the weapons gain assault, so they can get up the board a bit quicker and you can still shoot. Clanking Claws makes your Killer Cannons really good in melee, giving them +2 to their strength, making them strength 10 melee. And if you choose to push it again, you get hazardous, but you add 1 to the damage value. Conniving Runts makes the Gretchin really good at tagging people up, but also start putting mortal wounds onto them. So your opponent's move phase, they've just ended a move, you pick one of your Gretchins that is within 9 inches of that enemy unit, but not with an engagement, and then you roll a d6 on a 4-up, that enemy unit suffers d3 plus on mortal wounds, and then you can make a normal move, so you can really start to move block people and get a few mortal wounds in there. And then extra gubbins is just a -1 damage for your walkers or your vehicles, excluding, of course, Titanic. So a rough visualization of the army, you are running a lot of vehicle here, a lot of 5 wounds, you got a lot of little dudes just to clog up and die, and Zodgrod leading the way. So 2,000 points of Dread Mob, you have 42 T6 bodies at 210 wounds to get through. You have 48 rocket launchers at D3 shots. Remember, strength 9, AP 2, D3 profile. You can gain lethal hits and sustained hits through your detachment rule, and these are D3 shots. So on average, it's 2 shots per rocket launcher. So that's gonna be 96 rockets on average, hitting half the time. So you're shooting and hitting 48 rockets around with this army. You might do better through sustained hits, rolling those 3s. It's a lot of rockets coming through, and it's okay shooting for Orks. And then you have your 60 Gretchin just to buy you time and get you command points. It's the kind of detachment that, oddly enough, gives you quite a big board presence because the models are quite large, big unit sizes, there's a lot of them. It screens out really well unintentionally. It's kind of a skew army in the sense you've, instead of going a horde army or going a high toughness army, you've gone in the middle but picked the most efficient middle class stat line and just spammed it. So it kind of makes small arms not too effective into you, they're probably winning you on a lot of 5s, and then your opponent has to bring enough anti-tank or specialty profiles to actually start damaging you. And that's a bit of a troll build for Dread Mob. It's silly, it's dumb, you probably shouldn't do it, but boy, it would look really good on this table and just spamming rockets everywhere. You could bring a lot of things down. They wound everything in the game okay considering it's Orc shooting. Yeah, don't do it unless you have a really good 3D printer or you know where to get models cheaper than you really should. Alright, I did enjoy making this, and I've always got tons of brews for dumb meme lists. I don't know, you go into Warhammer and you start looking at models and go, that's really silly, what if I just did more of these, or, you know, silly builds, I like them, I might do more of them in the future. Alright, that's it. Thank you guys for your support, and thank you to the patrons. I cannot appreciate you guys enough. Marcus is my main patron, I really appreciate it. Yeah, please give us a like and a sub. We are going for 5k. Catch you later. See ya.
On the one hand, gold. On the other hand, painful, agonizing failure.